episodes of TLC Talk Radio. It's DT on our minds. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
And of course, we have another great show lined up for you. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And catch us every day on TLCTalkRadio.com. Hey, friend, I miss you.
I know it's been forever, but it won't seem like it's been forever when this goes up on the station.
All right. When it gets to running, they're like, we just heard you 30 minutes ago. What you mean?
You were just there, weren't you?
We see everything. We see all the videos. Absolutely. How's it going?
Not bad. I lost 15 pounds.
Yay!
Yeah.
I might have found 7 of them, maybe.
That's okay. That's okay.
Maybe
But it's a total of 45 in my weight loss journey.
High five.
Yes. So I'm doing good.
I love it. Good deal. Good deal. What are you doing?
I did a detox with my friend Karen.
Nice.
Who we're going to bring on here eventually. Because she lives in Flossmoor, so yeah, she's not that far.
Absolutely.
So we're good. So yeah, Karen's awesome with the detox, and I also dropped dairy again because dairy is the devil.
But I love cheese.
I love it too. But
oh my God.
I kind of love not feeling congested all the time and being able to drop weight.
Agreed. And I kind of, so what I do is I'm very selective with what I do because I don't have to have cheese on everything. But then I was walking through Aldi's and they had the jalapeno poppers and I was like, oh. So I don't have to have pizza. I don't like milk. Not anymore. I did when I was little because it wasn't really an option. Of course you like milk. You're going to eat these tricks.
I used to fake that I was allergic to milk, so when I would spend the night at people's houses, I wouldn't have to drink it in the morning for breakfast.
Well, you know.
So
they can't do anything about that right now.
No, because that was 30 some odd years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's very good. I'm just kind of, for me, watching my intake because I know that I eat when I'm bored.
I eat when there's food, which is all the time. I'm like, oh, food. Yes.
Yeah.
But I've been really good juicing as well.
Very good.
And drinking lots of green things. So everything going in is green, everything coming out is green.
All right, TMI day. But that's good. That's productive.
Yes, it is.
Literally and figuratively.
Your stuff should be green.
You want all
Just
that.
saying.
You want all of that out. All of that out. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, we've been all over the place. What we got today?
Well, the first thing I want to talk about is it's from Florida, but it's not what happened in Florida. It is more of a what's going on with this flesh-eating bacteria in Florida just hanging out, killing people.
Jesus.
What's up with that?
I can't even imagine how horrific that would be.
Yeah.
Because it's literally eating your flesh.
Yeah. And where does that come from?
I don't know.
Do we always have flesh-eating bacteria like back in the 1900s? Was that a thing? Or is this something that just manifested because of how we are destroying our planet?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to probably lean toward the latter. But
me too.
I can't prove it.
Not being a scientist,
right.
But I can make a hypothesis of things are coming up that used to not be around because there's no polar ice cap holding it in anymore. Yeah,
what you said.
Yes. So I guess we can pass over to what the heck's with this weather.
Now I'm a summer baby, so I like warm. I don't like sticky, stuffy.
Yeah.
And so I can deal with it for a minute. So before you got to the studio, I was in bed. I didn't get out of bed till like half an hour before I said, let's tape. And I stepped out to help you. And I was like, what in the crap?
Yeah.
And I'm on my way to 2 events. When we finish,
you're like, am I going to those?
I hope they're indoor because that's where I'm going to be. I know one is in, I'll be in the house at both of these because they'll be both indoor and outdoor. But under no circumstances am I a fan of it. This kind of heat, unless I'm sitting, on the beach, my own little cabana,
Yeah.
which I don't have here.
I'm not a fan of heat, even though my birthday is in July. No, I don't like the heat. But my concern is that it has not stopped raining. It every day there's just a downpour of rain, and I cannot mow my lawn.
No.
Because my backyard's flooded. I didn't put up the pool this year because of that. Well, that and because I really didn't feel like taking care of it this year. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, the rain out here in the South Burbs. So I'm close to Indiana, and I get all the weather blends.
Yep.
And so my poor neighbors. So what happens on our street? And I shared a picture. It floods literally in the middle of the block. And it stops just as it approaches my property line. But when I tell you that it's ridiculous, no mail, no garbage, nothing can come through. Yeah. And so my one neighbor who's a little closer to me, I've seen them be able to back out. But I don't know what the rest of them do. I guess they go the opposite way because they can't come, on our street back.
They can't go west.
Yeah, because it's bad. Bad.
Yeah, and I discovered the last bad rain that we had. I just discovered this a couple of days ago that my car actually flooded.
Whoa.
Yeah, because the interior is wet, like the bottom
the floor.
Of it. Yeah, and I didn't notice it before because I have those really nice.
WeatherTech.
They're like WeatherTech, but they're Honda.
Got it.
So they're really nice and expensive, and
sure.
I didn't really notice that it was wet because it was wet underneath it and on top of it. And the only reason I realized that it was wet was because I had horse treats that had dumped out of the bag that I didn't get to, or I didn't see them originally, and they had expanded. And I was like, what the heck is this in my car? Why does it stink?
Why are the horse treats growing?
Right. And I was like, what is oh, that's the horse treats. So I took up all the what are they called?
The mats?
The mats, yeah. Duh. I was just talking about that.
It's okay, brain freeze.
So I took up all the mats out, and everything was wet underneath it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize that our house had flooded that much, because when I woke up, by the time I woke up, everything had receded because we have really good, ditches systems, and they usually end up in this field where it's not hurting anybody's house.
Right.
But it had gone all the way up to the house and into the garage. So it had moved some stuff in the garage. And my daughter's got, engine parts and stuff in there. And she had it all up anyway. So it wasn't like they were getting ruined or anything. But we walked in and was like, why is it wet by the door in the house?
Yeah.
So, yeah. We slept through it, though. We had no idea.
Yeah, rain is great for me. Like, when it rains, that is the best sleep in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And even I would tell my kids, my students, because I don't have any kids. People are like, I didn't know Tasha had kids. I don't.
Little do you know.
But they are my kids. And so they would come in real gloomy, and I'm like, the rain got you? And they're like, is that what it is? Yes.
It calms you down.
Affects your mood. And I'm okay with you being calm.
The negative ions actually make you a little bit calmer.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I love it. I listen to Bless Whoever recorded 9 hours of rainfall on YouTube. I listen to that on occasion.
9 hours?
Mm-hmm. There's a 10-hour. I don't know who did this, but again, God bless them. So it's literally just thunderstorms.
How long does that take to upload? Because, we upload like 30 minutes. It takes, 2 days. I can't imagine uploading 10 hours
really. I hope
something.
that they have some super high speed something going on from somewhere. But, yeah, it's 9-10 hours, and you can choose either light, gentle rain or the thunderstorm. I can deal with the thunders. I used to couldn't. I would, no. I'd be like, Lord Jesus, what's happening? Because, I come from a time where, I'd be at my godmother's house, and it began to storm, and it's, we're unplugging the TV and get off the phone. And I'm like,
get off your computer.
Right. Well, it wasn't even that because I was way smaller. Yeah. Right. I'm like, so I can't watch The Price is Right with you because
Yeah.
that became my show. You know.
Yeah, it's all about zapping everything out. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
now we
just-
don't care. We're
at
just like,
all.
oh, it blows out, whatever.
That literally just happened to my family. Somebody lost their TV as a result. I have a whole home generator because I'm out here by myself and I don't want any problems. I'm like, nope. We
I'm
all
trying
good.
to get like a wind turbine
Very nice.
system, but I don't have wind turbine system money right now.
Listen, because they will not take Uno cards.
No.
They will not take those.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if I could barter with that, I'd be right at the Walmart buying all the Uno games.
I just want to learn how to play, not play, like construct everything.
Sure.
But I don't have that brain. I don't have the science brain. Nefera my daughter has the science brain. I do
Sure.
not have the science brain. You should have the science brain, being a science teacher.
Yeah, but I'm not building turbines. Like, we're building bridges, and they are not to scale. They are small. Usually, like, if someone said, okay, now go out, I'd be, oh, my God, no. That's not what you want me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that was the weather and how it's changing. It's changing.
Yeah.
And politicians need to realize that that's happening because we're continuing to get more flooding and more severe weather, and it's going to cost more and more money.
Yep.
So
More and more lives will be impacted or worse, lost.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So get it together. That's all I'm saying.
What Dana said.
That's all I'm saying. Speaking of politicians, so in Illinois we have legalized pot, and we're getting more casinos because, okay. Two things that I don't actually do.
Right.
So, I mean, it's great because I've seen what legalization of marijuana has done in other states.
Sure.
And it's done very well for their economy, and they can pay their bills, and we don't have to deal with all the deficits that we have in Illinois and our mess
No comment.
that has happened for quite some time.
Right. It has been going on for a long time, so we
Yeah.
can't blame anyone necessarily.
I would say probably since the 70s,
Yeah.
it's been just a hot mess.
That's when we showed up. So
Right. I can't say anything before that.
Right.
I could, but I didn't do any history on it, so
Sure.
I'm just going to say now from the 70s until
That's
now
enough.
It's been jacked up.
Shoot.
So I think it's a great thing in one way, but I do have concerns because I do have some pothead friends who have great ideas but no motivation to get out of bed.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you're concerned that legalization will just kind of impede any little progress they may have made? Is that what your concern is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I love them,
Sure.
but they just, now they'll be able to walk down the street smoking. It's
Yeah, and we don't all like the smell of it. I need
No.
everybody to understand that. Like, I can't stand it. And then I guess there are different versions. I don't know. This is not what I do, but the skunk and the loud and the whatever other names
purple
there
haze.
are. See, I'd never heard of that. I'm
You've
like,
never heard of the purple haze? Oh,
that's not what I do. So I'm like,
I don't do it either, but
I can't even. Yeah.
I got
And I know,
friends.
yeah, you got your friends, your family who smoke. Okay, whatever. I'm not in that. I'm real interested in the investment process into this industry. So that's something I'm
Which
looking into.
I'm afraid that pharmaceutical companies are going to take over
They are.
because,
There's money to be made.
because there's so much money to be lost, and that's where it's kind of confusing and concerning.
In what regard?
Well, marijuana, different parts of it can affect the body.
Sure.
Heal things. Not if you're doing I'm waking and baking all day long. That is not the healing part of it.
Sure.
But for
The medicinal purposes.
Then
it knocks some of their handcrafted pieces out of the box.
So I was at this conference, what was it, last Saturday?
Okay.
And the man was talking about he had done these studies called the China study. Have you ever heard of that book?
I've not.
Okay. Well, it's about how when pharmaceutical companies come in and fix something, quote unquote, what they're doing is they're just fixing that one thing and don't really care about what's going on with the rest of the body.
Sure.
So that is why there's so many side effects. Because you can't fix the body as a whole by fixing that one little part, because there's so much more going on with it. This was a really cool thing, and I can't remember his name, but he was talking about, they did this study where protein, they thought protein would fix everything, basically.
Okay.
So they started feeding, like a control group, a glass of milk or something like that. It was a milk-based one. And found that the people who were just doing the dairy for their protein, instead of doing regular vegetables, because you can get protein from vegetables, believe it or not, and calcium and everything that you think you need from milk, those people developed cancer, they developed cardiac problems, and a whole list of disease.
Too protein rich. Is that what
No,
it was?
it has nothing to do with the amount of protein. It's the kind of protein.
Got it.
So when you think you're trying to fix something with one thing, it never fixes it. So that's, but marijuana being a plant, instead of being, I'm just going to fix you with this, is a different kind of thing. And pharmaceutical companies are like, no, you can't do that.
Right.
That's not how this works, because we need to sell you 8 other drugs to fix what we gave you to fix the first thing. So
that happened to our friend's mother. I won't name him, but his mother-in-law. We thought she was going to pass. It was so scary, you know, and it turns out that after all of this back and forth, running to the hospital, it was that I guess some doctor on her team had not recognized that she was taking something else. And the two things were in direct contradiction and could have killed her.
yeah, but your pharmacist should have known that.
I agree with you, and I wanted to fight, but, you know, that's probably not productive.
But honestly, because I know a pharmacist, and she's like, yeah, she would never, like,
Absolutely.
that contradicts with that. Why would you? I can't give you that.
Exactly.
I don't care what your doctor said.
So it means that a couple of people weren't paying attention.
Oh,
then.
yeah. Yeah. So, like, her medical team didn't pay attention to every time they go in. They're like, what medications are you on? So my mom brings her bag of medication with her.
I carry a list of all the things that my parents take in my wallet.
Yeah.
Because we don't want no problems.
Exactly.
They don't want to problems
I don't
for
take
me.
anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to. I'll just deal with it.
Yeah, I get it. No, I get it, because it's frightening. You know, you listen to the commercials, and, you know, the comedians joke about it, but seriously, you listen to the commercials, and then it's 7,500 side effects, and people are like, never mind, I'll just deal with, you know,
Right.
whatever.
I got an ingrown toenail. I'm fine.
Right. I shall get over it.
It'll grow away. So, with the legalization of pot in Illinois, that is going to bring our revenue up, correct?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I'm going to go with yes. Yes, it is. It is
Sure
going
it is.
to. One of the components is going to fix that problem. Definitely marijuana. So why did Illinois decide to do new taxes and fees? Why? Why didn't we give it a chance
Right, to self-correct.
to self-correct before we raise the license plate fees to $150?
Oh, my God, and I have 2 vehicles.
Yeah.
I am unhappy.
So do I.
I am unhappy.
No. But what I don't understand is that all these fees, the gas increase, it was an extra 18 cents now, which doesn't bother me because I go to Indiana because it's right there.
Exactly.
But what I don't understand is all these fees got enacted July 1st. Yet we have to wait until January 1st for marijuana to be legal. We have to wait for January 1st for the increase in minimum wage, which is not enough with all the fees you just added.
Right.
Like, you need to make it $15 now so it could be $18 in 5 years. Because no one can afford to live here.
Yeah.
They just, you can't.
I saw a sign. It said, "Leaving Illinois so soon." Was it something we taxed?
Yes. Did you tax me to leave? Probably.
You know, the toll roads were supposed to pay for road maintenance, and it was supposed to be limited.
Yeah. And it wasn't supposed to go out for people who had transponders.
I have 2 transponders there. They're telling me a story.
Yeah. Lies.
I just don't understand. Express your opinions at the polls, ladies and gentlemen.
It doesn't make any sense. So they also, for electric cars, which we were supposed to be getting electric cars so we could help with the environment. But because you can't make any money off gas tax with it.
Here you go.
Yeah. It used to be $35 every 2 years for having an electric car. Now it is $200 a year. Yeah, exactly.
So my face. I missed that one. Here's the thing, though. You're going to tax me for trying to conserve energy.
Yep. Because you're using the road and not paying for it.
I'm paying for everything else.
Oh.
I would like to eat. Maybe go on a vacation occasionally.
Not in this state. Not unless you win the lottery, which was supposed to pay for education. Remember that? How'd that work? That didn't work out at all. That didn't work out at all.
It did not.
So, I don't know. Some days I feel like I should run for office and just get rid of everybody.
They would shoot you, Dana. You're too honest.
Yeah, that is my problem. I'm very honest.
Yeah, then I'd have to burn down the city. So, no.
Yeah. No, not the city. Just do the state. Run.
I'd have to burn down the state if they killed you.
Well, yeah.
I don't know how I would accomplish this, but the point is...
Wouldn't be by using gas because the taxes...
It certainly wouldn't. Yeah, that would be way too...
No.
Too much.
Too much money.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that just... Okay.
I am very close to the Indiana border, and I, at the time, didn't understand how close I was. Wasn't very familiar with this area, and if I had known...
Yeah,
I
you're
would have
right
bought,
on it.
Yeah, I'd have bought in Indiana. I'm a Chi-Town girl, born and raised in Inglewood. It's all good. But
yeah,
this money, I'd like to keep a little bit of it. I
Yeah,
certainly would have moved
not here.
and still be, close enough to my parents who have no desire to move. And that's fine. They do what they want. They're
Right.
okay. But it's too much. And so I wonder how it would be if I had, dependents. Like, geez.
Yeah.
This wouldn't work
ridiculous.
out. Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Other ridiculous news. Why are we licking ice cream and putting it back in the freezer?
Let me tell you about foolishness. So I saw this headline going around. And it's like, police are searching for a woman who licked ice cream. And I was like, what? Did she? So I'm half reading it. You get up in the morning and you're kind of scrolling through your social media. And then you're going about your day. Mm-hmm. And you think it's just something silly. No, this broad is now facing 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, your fault. You shouldn't have done it. Because it's food tampering. You can't do that.
Yeah, I didn't know it was 20 years. Wow.
Yeah. Just see what I'm saying? I mean...
She ain't going to get 20 years.
She probably won't. But now there have been copycats. So I saw another woman come strolling down the aisle, and she appeared real dolled up. She came strolling down the aisle with whomever her camera operator is. They should go too. And she opens the door. She pulls out the ice cream. There is no protective plastic layering. And she just begins to lick and lick and lick. Real sensual.
Ew. You in a store.
Nasty. And then she puts it back and then walks off. Then the guy comes in a different video. He comes. I can't remember if he licked it, but he certainly reached in the tub and grabbed, then hands it to the camera operator, leans it toward whoever that is, and that person grabs and pulls chunks out to eat. And I'm like, this is...
Savage.
How does your mind work that you think this is appropriate? that people with compromised immune systems, or people who are just ill, or just people who don't have any of these things going on but don't want to eat after you because ill.
Right. Like,
but especially people who could become ill because you're an idiot.
Well, they can become ill either way.
Absolutely.
I mean, even if you don't have a compromised immune system, we don't know what these people probably don't wash their hands. I'm just saying.
Right.
I mean,
they're certainly not thinking.
They're not very cleanly.
Just the idea. Yeah, just the idea.
But like, where did you get this idea, and where did you think it was okay? Like, who in your family was like, "Oh, just go lick it, it's fine"?
Everybody be warned. If I catch you in the grocery store doing that, it's gonna be an issue.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna yell out to the cashier, "You should call the police
right now," because I have it on.
Because we're about to have a conversation, and they're not gonna like me.
No,
you can't do that to people, and I think it just speaks to the lack of respect generally. I never lump people into categories. But what in your mind thinks, I'm just going to disrespect the whole public and the whole store and the whole shopping experience, and I'm going to lick this ice cream?
Just because I think it's funny, and
right.
I'm going to put it on YouTube and get 1 million hits. You're going to get 20 years. Well,
right.
Probably about 5. But either way, you can't go to a grocery store anymore.
Right.
What about that lady who was walking around eating a cake?
I missed
this. She ate half a cake? And then was like, "Oh, I don't want it." You ate half the cake walking through the store.
You see how my face is? I can't wrap my mind around such foolishness.
Right. Like, when I was little, I wouldn't even eat like grapes that we were buying because we didn't own them yet. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, I do sample them. But yeah.
But I'm
going to get them. Like, before I make that decision, I'm like, I'm probably going to get these. It is what it is. Or I might open a bag of chips as I'm walking through the store, and then I get there, and I'm like, you need to scan these because I was eating them. I need you to scan them.
I've always been, afraid that I'm going to get arrested. Why? I don't know. Because this face is...
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I've got that white privilege thing going on.
No comment.
Well, it's true. and I'll tell you what proved it to me, which I didn't think I didn't have it. But then one Christmas, I was at the Barnes & Noble that was down the street from IMS.
Okay.
And I set off the alarms, and no one looked at me. No one looked at me.
Whereas had I walked in just walking in.
Right. What about that?
In my Rebel shirt.
And I was just like, okay. So I walked back in looking for someone to look at me, and no one looked at me. And I went out the other door and set off that alarm, and still no one looked at me. Hilarious. And I was like, okay.
It is what it is, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, our post-positive.
Post-positives are always so sweet. But that's the point. They're positive.
Mm-hmm. So, last month... Well, I don't know when people are going to hear this. June was Pride Month. And there was a company online in Philadelphia selling shirts that were dad hugs for free and mom hugs for free. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're going to cry. So they interviewed a couple of people who had worn these shirts and got hugs from, kids in the crowd and stuff. And I want to do it next year. I really do.
Do it. And it's for the people who's, unfortunately, their parents have, disowned them or disagree with whatever. Mm-hmm. And they don't have that parental support.
Right.
I think it's great. As much foolishness is inspired by social media, a whole lot of good is as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important to highlight, and that's why we do Post Positive. I think it's great. I saw it. I cried. I'm the crier here.
I cry when I'm emotional, once a month.
It's not my story anymore, but I saw this is a Post Positive that wasn't planned, but I'm in a group called the Renovation Room. And it's just, people talking about home projects and companies and people who need what they need. Mm-hmm. And one woman posted, she said, "This is an emergency. My mother just came home on hospice. and our air conditioning is not working.
Oh.
She's like, this is where I am. This is my number. So I didn't know her at all. I just got in this group a week ago. I screenshot it because I just had my air fixed. So now I screenshot it to all of the companies and people, they're independent companies that I had reached out to. And when I tell you the responses of women, and so what happened in the thread was, where you located? Here I come. This is free. I'm not charging you. And it was a lot of I lost it.
Oh.
They were like, I'm not charging you. And I was like, oh my God, because you're bringing your mom home and she's about to leave.
Right.
And she said, I just want her comfortable. I'll pay whatever. And they were like, nope, we're not charging you.
Wow.
So it was really nice to see. Yep. I think that's a great set of post positives to end on.
Yes, it is.
It is. You have been listening to TLC Talk Radio's DT on Our Minds. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
Don't forget to follow us on all social media, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and catch us daily on TLCTalkRadio.com. We will catch you next week.
Peace.